Celtic travel to Pittodrie. This isn't the 10th time I've done it or anything, guys. But yes, it's two shit teams colliding. Midday kickoff. Everyone will be tuning into this game. We've got Scott Brown playing against Celtic for the first time since his Hibs days, which were a long time ago, big man. Davy Turnbull, they may be in an injury crisis, but Celtic fans probably wish this guy was injured because he's absolute pish this season.
He may have been their best player last season, but he's arguably one of their worst players this season. So disappointing for Davy Turnbull so far. Celtic sitting in 6th place in the league table, just sneaking into the top 6 at the moment. Aberdeen, 3 places behind in 9th. Where did it all go wrong for Aberdeen? Started the season well with 2 wins. People were actually talking about an Aberdeen challenge. A lot of people actually were predicting Aberdeen to finish above Celtic this season and finish 2nd in the table. But I mean, looking at how things have panned out since then, Aberdeen 5 games in the league. Since the opening 2 wins, they picked up 2 draws and 3 losses. And it's not as if they've been taking on, you know, the best teams here, because their run against the big teams is just beginning to start. I believe Aberdeen in the month of October are taking on Hearts again, Rangers, Celtic and Hibs. I could be wrong in that.
So that is 0 points basically is what you've just told me.
They've got 5 games in October, and I believe 4 of them are, you know, the 2 Glasgow clubs and the 2 Edinburgh clubs.
The big boys.
So, Aberdeen, I don't see them picking up points anytime soon. As for Celtic, they need to go on a run. I think they will though. I mean, team news, Kyogo's back. They look a much better team, obviously, with him in the squad. And I do think that he will make a difference.
No matter what the result is here, guys, the manager of our club, I think, could be in deep shit.
Yeah, I mean, if Ange loses this one, he could quite possibly get sacked, depending if Rangers beat Hibs. I mean, that would be a 9-point gap already. I mean, it would be a 9-point gap and there wouldn't be 9 games played.
And Rangers have been shit.
Yeah.
Well, Rangers have been awful. I don't think Celtic could have wished for Rangers playing much worse.
Yeah, but the difference is Rangers have, in most games, even the games they've been poor in, they picked up the points. Celtic are poor in games and they don't pick up points.
Difference between good and great teams there.
Anyway, Aberdeen will be without midfielder Terry Jenks.
Him. That guy.
Marley Watkins as well, he'll be missing out. And Andy Considine, who's going to be out till next year with a knee surgery.
He suffered in Quarabag.
3 relatively big injuries there for Aberdeen. As for Celtic, we don't really know. I mean, Kyogo and McGregor, they started in the Europa League defeat to Bayer Leverkusen, so they should be back. The new big signing, Grise Georgie, I don't know whether he'll be in the team or not. He did make his debut in the second half of that Bayer Leverkusen defeat. He could start, he could be in the bench, maybe he won't even play, I don't know. We get to see Juranovic is still out, Mikey Johnson's still out, Karamoko Dembele's still out, James Forrest is still out, Greg Taylor is still out, and last but not least, Christopher Julian is still out. So when you read those Celtic injuries there, they do pile up, you know what I mean? They're like piling up like a fucking teacher that hasn't done their, I don't know, assessments or something. They're just piling up.
That had to be like the pishest analogy I've ever heard in my life.
Alright,
guys.
they're piling up like the defeats in my FIFA career modes, right?
Aye, right, we'll go with that then.
Right?
Aye, because that's a shit ton.
Aye.
There's only one FIFA career mode you should be checking out, guys, and that's mine. The draw, the big man, the guy that brings in all the money. How much are you bringing in? More than me, actually, so I'll shut up.
Actually.
But football's bringing in hee-haw, because nobody's subscribing. We've got the watch minutes, we just need subs. Well, we basically
We actually don't have the watch minutes. But anyway, speaking about previous results, Aberdeen have only won one of their last 20 league meetings with Celtic.
That's embarrassing. And you know when that
3
was?
draws
you know when
and
that
6 when Rangers needed Celtic to beat Aberdeen.
Exactly, so there we go.
For second place. So, yeah. That is a fucking mad stat, to be fair. 20 league meetings, that would stretch back, what, 5 seasons?
You do the math there, right? That is the first, right, let's be real, last 5 seasons, Celtic been the best team, right? So, Celtic against the third place best team, even though you could argue 5 seasons ago Aberdeen were better than Rangers, right? And yet they've only beat them once. That is fucking shocking.
Only half of that's about the Brendan Rodgers Celtic. I mean, the other half it's
shite.
Pretty much Neil Lennon and
the job squad.
You know what I mean? So Celtic are unbeaten in 10 away league trips to Aberdeen, 8 wins, 2 draws. The last time Celtic lost to Aberdeen was in February 2016 under manager Ronnie Dyler. That was when Aberdeen looked like they could actually launch a title fight. It never panned out that way because they bottled it. Aberdeen have lost their last 3 Scottish Premiership matches. They haven't lost more matches consecutively than this since the top flight, April 2011. So it's almost a decade since Aberdeen lost more than 3 matches in a row. And Celtic have lost their last 3 Scottish Premiership matches as well. Their worst away league run since April 2000 under Kenny Dalglish, who also lost 3 in a row back then. So, I mean, both of these teams, Celtic haven't even won since February away in the league either. So, not even in the league, just in general, they haven't won an away match since February.
Well, sure as fuck wouldn't be Europe.
Well, that's true.
Very true.
So, it's really hard to predict this one, but I think for what I seen against Celtic, against the Bayer Leverkusen on Thursday night there, albeit it was more of an open game, Bayer Leverkusen were obviously going to take it to Celtic, and that gave Celtic opportunities. Aberdeen, you have to feel, even though they're at home, they're probably going to be a hell of a lot more defensive than Bayer Leverkusen is. I think Aberdeen will be happy just to kind of sit behind the ball and take their chance on the break and take opportunities for set pieces and stuff like that whenever it happens. Because I think if Aberdeen do try to, take Celtic on, I think Celtic have got the firepower up front to blow Aberdeen away. Even though they're dodgy at the back, I don't think Aberdeen will
Celtic
attempt to
performed
do that.
very well in open games with this Ange guy, right? But we've seen, like against Livingston, away from home, they've been shocking. Examples against Hearts, Livingston, even examples against like Dundee United at home when teams have just properly sat back. But you never know, guys. But in terms of this match, I'm going to go with a 2-0 Celtic win.
The question is, though, can Aberdeen realistically sit back? Can they play that kind of game? On recent form, I think Aberdeen have to go in here and try and make a statement. The fans are pissed off. I don't think they'll settle for a 11 men behind the ball bottle job.
Unless they win.
Unless they win. But it's a risky strategy, doing that just to try and get a win. And if Aberdeen do try and play, I do think Celtic can, score multiple goals past them.
So Stephen Glass is fucked either way then.
I don't think he was the right man for the job. Still don't. Didn't agree with the appointment. I didn't agree with him getting rid of Derek McInnes. And if they were going to get rid of DM, I think they should have at least had a manager in sight, a manager that they had lined up, but they didn't. They just sacked McInnes and brought in this guy, so it didn't make much sense to me. I'm going to go with a Celtic 3-1 win. Like I said, they can concede goals, but I just think they will outscore Aberdeen, especially with Kyogo back. If they start with Kyogo, Abada and Jota up front, I just cannot see Aberdeen containing those 3. Joe Lewis's form's a bit dodgy at the moment as well. He's not on the top of his game. He's been a bit poor for the last couple of seasons. I think he's past his best, and he doesn't look as formidable as he used to be in net. So again, not Aberdeen's strongest point. I wouldn't be surprised if he helped Celtic to a goal. And I'm going to go 3-1 Celtic away from home. Pile the pressure on to Stephen Glass at Pittodrie.
Break the glass. Stephen Glass could be soon out on his candy ass, brother. Could Ange though be? Who knows, guys? I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good wee game.
Yeah, well, I mean, this Sunday could change everything. If Celtic beat Aberdeen and Hibs beat Rangers, even if Hibs draw with Rangers, I mean, that's the gap went down to 4 points. All of a sudden, maybe Celtic have no momentum. But you could swing it the other way. Rangers could beat Hibs and Celtic could drop points here against Aberdeen. So
see if Celtic get beat here, regardless of the Ibrox or so, you could fucking say the second's looking a struggle for them, just for how inconsistent they are.
Right. It could be one of those things. Haven't won the away game since February, and once they get one away win, they'll get a shitload of them. But I don't know. I'm going 3-1 Celtic, guys. Let us know your opinion down below. I think Celtic will win the game, but I wouldn't bet my life on it, put it that way.
No, neither would I, guys. But anyway, till the review tomorrow, there might be a player ratings out in that, will there?
Aye, player ratings. I think we'll do player ratings for both games tomorrow. Both sets of clubs will be getting rated. Normally we do Scotland player ratings. We just rate the Scottish players because we haven't got time to
I'm not going through the Faroe Islands team.
Yeah. But,
that shit.
2 big games tomorrow. I think we'll do both player ratings for both games, and we'll go through both sets of clubs in those games as well. Aye, so should be a great day on Fog Football on Sunday. Win, lose or draw. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. If I could pick my preferred results, it would probably be An Aberdeen and a Hibs win. I think that would be really interesting.
It would be no bad until about 4:30.
No, it was a 4:30.
The Rangers game would be done. And then they'd be beat. So it'd be great Celtic getting beat and then become 4:30 Rangers.
Oh, aye. Well, there you go, guys. Fuck it. I'm going Celtic 3-1. That's it. Till next time.
Yep, 2-0 for me, guys. But until then, peace.